Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin Tiny Wars replay. So on bottom left side as the dark gray Mr. Bear, we got Mr. Cringe. Spawn top right side as the red Tinker, we got Ritmo. Penny's course buff from the Days of Ruin cartridge has the standard 50%, 3, 30, 60, 60. But has a slight buff here. Rather than providing the plus default 10%, it is providing the slightly increased 15 plus 15% offense and defense. Of course, the superpower does turn on the weather for 3 turns and makes the plus 50% global for 1 turn. Tinker is a custom seal, which I cannot remember what he does. Has 50% boarding costs, has the relatively weird 4 Zeo zone, has a expansion of 15 and 30 of the max energy, which is a very early power and superpower. In this case, just superpower. Does provide the default plus 10, so slightly weaker than any, but of course larger radius and faster expansion. And his superpower just provides a very basic plus 20% plus 10%. So wait, no. Energy costs 15, not 30. So at 15 energy, he can employ a superpower, which is basically Hawk's day-to-day globally. That's interesting. And boarding zones regular. So he is something you want to spam out the CO zone, CO power. Maybe a good idea to put him something a little bit weaker then, because if you put him tank, the tank can't move that turn. So probably putting into a recon or flare would be best. Something that's you don't have to worry about using every single turn. It's interesting, and I still don't know if the power is used, does it consume the entire bar or what's available? Because if it consumes what's available, that means it could leave 15 energy left over. I guess we'll find out soon enough. This map is a fog of war map. It is quite large, got triple base, 1 airport. There are shores here, so gotta pay close attention here. It's traversable. Additionally, for those who like to blow up bikes, there's also a forest there at each entrance or exit, so it will move slowly. Additionally, in Days of Ruin, as opposed to Advanced Wars Wide Web, shores do consume 2 movement speed with wheeled vehicles, so they're not a road like in by web and any other Advanced Wars. There's also a port here, surrounded by 3 shores. There's an opening in the back side, or the right and left side. There's also a pair of comm towers on the map, another pair of harbors, actually more harbors, but it's likely we probably will see very minimal naval units. I think I haven't even seen any combat ships ever deployed on this map so far in all the replays I've cast so far. I've only ever seen gunboats, maybe landers, and that's it. We do have a bike here. You can see it moves slowly there. Can't go any further because of that forest. Just infantry so far for any. That's what Mr. Bear is advising. While Tinker has deployed out motorbikes here, even did a base skip for that. Another base skip and goes for recon. The recon maybe be loaded with a CO unit, providing plus 10, quite a minimal amount of increases. But at 4 radius is not bad. 4 stiff in comparison is 5 radius. Implies plus 20, and no power or superpower. Of course, once they get onto the roads, they start traversing faster. It does go for tank, infantry, and another base skip. I don't like all these basics have been seeing, but maybe if he gets some good value from that, he is going to be far more aggressive. Mr. Bear has not advised upon anything else than infantry, but now it has advised a T-copter for Penny to pull out on the field. And double recon as well. Okay, Penny's starting to apply some pressure. The tank will be pushed forward pretty quickly. CO's in the tank, not on the recon. Like I said beforehand, since his power and superpower his superpower is popped very often, it's maybe not a good idea to load up his CO unit into a very powerful unit. Though a tank is probably the most expensive you want to pull your CO unit in. And the T-copter's heading to the harbor. The Tinker is in the middle of the map right now. 12,000 versus 15. Of course, going to see a handful of properties captured today, including the comm tower. There's 2 more properties, so he will pull ahead and come. Oh! Does not capture the comm tower. Being quite bold there. Tinker has quite a bit of units there. Goes for a battlecopter and another base skip. This map is quite large, so maybe my not liking seeing base skips is probably not really founded, since they always take a bit of infantry bit of time to get on the field. And he's not to put out any battlecopter or tank. And I say that there's now 3 tanks. It's like, oh, there's no tanks, nothing to engage the tank. And all of a sudden now there's 3 tanks, which probably one is going to get CO'd. Tank. Tank. And base skip. First strike on the recon. And he's now pulled out an artillery piece. Waits the battlecopter. So this infantry is going to be one capturing all the cities. Get a strike down there. Moving down south. Tank does get a strike. Already has a CO power. For global plus 20 plus 10. Yeah, 15 entries quite often. That's something you probably be guaranteed every turn. After all, if you take out 4 infantry and that's 40 energy, he only needs 15. Of course, right now the CO zone's at 6 tiles, which is quite significant. I'm still curious if the power or superpower does consume all the energy bar. I don't think I've been able to isolate that down in the replay yet. We do now have a medium tank put out by Penny. Mr. Bear advised it. Now has full 30 energy. Now he has 6 CO zone radius, not just 5. His abilities are already breaking my mind, even though how simple they are. Because it's simple to overlook. Battlecopter, anti-air flare, and base skip again. Mr. Bear gets a good strike there. 10 energy. On this map, I can see all 3 weather being quite nice. Having 1 vision rain and fog of war is quite significant. +1, -1 movement speed is quite nice, seeing how large this map is. And of course, 30% minus firepower from Sandstorm is just generally going to be very useful, regardless of what the situation is. Does get trapped there. Good strikes there. Has a lot of tanks in the middle. Now Penny sees there is 3 tanks in a battle cover. That's quite significant. She does not have the anti-air or the medium tank in the middle of the map. She's going to have to need a withdrawal. The end of turn of 117. Penny will start the turn of 95, so she's getting behind about a turn or two. And he does have a tank up here, and start making her way to these properties up here. Tinker does have 25,000 versus 22. Pulls back the tanks, very nice. Anti-air could be pushing forward there. Got good number of battle cops in the field as well. Another medium tank and a battlecopter. And Tinker has enough for a bomber. I don't think a bomber would be a good idea. Yep. 20,000. I always forget it's not 22,000. Battlecopter. Infantry, infantry, infantry. Making some decent headway. There's a lot of forces he has in the middle, but of course, Penny has a bit of a tech advantage thanks to the medium tank. And his additional firepower is not going to be too significant to help deal with that medium tank. Get some outlying shots there. Penny definitely has a balanced approach, while Tinker is going a bit more of a focused approach. So Penny will win up north. At the current rate, she may lose down south, but she does have a tech advantage. Though there's a good number of battle coppers in their area. Getting some good strikes there as well. Does stick out an artillery piece there. The medium tank and the command tank are both hidden at the moment. We also got a lander deployed in the field, very nice. And starting to capture some outlying properties. 26,000 versus 22. Artillery piece takes a shot there. I just see the artillery piece there. Does spot the artillery piece now. Should be able to get a good strike onto it. There is an anti-air there. Battlecopter is somewhat nearby, of course, out of vision range. Great strike there. And a lot of CO zone energy for Penny, but maybe a little bit overextended. We've got multiple battlecopters. Tanks can easily take out the anti-air. Battlecopter can take out the. There's 2 anti-airs, so both of them can be knocked out though, even though they're both on properties. And then battlecopter's going to easily focus on the battlecopter. I think Penny's not in a great position there. But she has pretty much free range down here for the infantry to capture up stuff for now. Good strike there. Anti-air in the region as well. It does spot the battlecopter. Tank, anti-air. Let's see how Tinker handles this. Pops a superpower. Does leave him 15 energy remaining, so he can bring another superpower next turn. That's why I think he should have got not be loaded up on the tank. A recon would have been better, perhaps. There's some good headways there. Man tank gets knocked out. And now the medium tank does take a powerful strike there. Double medium tank now forward deployed. Penny took some hits there. She's about 2 turns behind now, but she should be able to crush the northern flank. Medium tank gets a good strike there. Now this battlecop's out of vision range. And good headway up there. If the infantry unit pushes forward like that, the anti-battlecopter would be revealed. Though now he can charge at this battlecopter and risk going through the city, which is not scouted. Let's see what he does with this anti-air. Does risk it, and does get the strike there. Got another medium taking free. With the amount of stuff here, maybe a good idea to go for battlecopter for a bit more of a faster response. Does get a nice little pick there. Gets trapped by the anti-air. Gets a good strike from the medium tank as well. Gets another CO power available. Multiple mini tanks push way forward. Penny's tech advantage has now subsided. On knows the flares on top of the city. Does scout it out. Artillery gets a good strike there. Tank will get a good strike from the anti-air. Does not take out the tank. With max out efficiency and of course the plus 10% defense, it is quite resilient. Anti-air. Oh, he's out of money. Oh wait, no, I looked at the wrong fund. Does go for a battlecopter, another medium tank. Versus lander, he's able to quickly redeploy stuff forward. Now one quickly goes on down. Does get trapped. Penny's outlying forces or central forces getting cleaned on up. Only has some infantry down here, which could flip a property next turn. And will flip a property next turn. Is that 27 versus 25? That would put them at 26. There's also this property being flipped as well. Poise could load up a CO in the medium tank. Trying to find some, does get a bit of recon there, does take out the battlecopter. All the battlecopters are down. Does not CO the medium tank there. Of course, the missile platform is not a hidden property. Does get trapped. Finish off the infantry unit there. So got a medium tank down here. Gets a good strike on the anti-air. Ooh, bomber. It goes for an APC as well. Probably gonna try to get a temporary airport in the middle of the map. Philippines almost out of ammo. Flare there. Medium tank can get a strike in the medium tank. Pulls back the medium tank to HQ. Very nice. Does have an anti-tank on the field, which is going to take a very long time. It is wheeled. A couple battle cops up here. No anti-air. Pops the superpower. Bomb pushes its way forward. Medium tank anti-air flare. May see a load up in the medium tank now. They see some little battle cops up there, so these battle cops may need to go up north. Does get a good strike there. CO loads the CO unit inside the tank. Does finish off that one. Good strike on the CO unit. Has CO power available. You can pop it again for a 1-2 punch. There's some good strikes there. Another bomber. Just mass producing bombers right now. There's CO power. Tinker ends the turn with exactly 200,000. Penny has only 128, so she's pretty far behind right now. Gets trapped. Good strikes there. Duster there. That's surprisingly going to be useful against the bombers. Yeah, I got a gunboat down there. I'm not sure why there's a gunboat. Well, she's probably just trying to occupy the property so it doesn't get captured. Now got a full fighter deployed in the field. Since he has multiple bombers in the field, he's going to go for a full fighter to provide air escort. Not a good, very good idea. APC there. Grouping up some forces here. Has a very, very powerful army here. Anti-airs in the region though, so he does have some anti-aircraft, so the bombers still have to be careful, but light tanks can easily knock them out. Recon infantry. Does get a good shot onto the APC, does spot the bomber, and with that, she resigns. This is Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.